And let me present my screen to start begin with. Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes.
So I welcome all of you here in the round robin hackathon finale round. So we'll start with this Albert Einstein quote: "We cannot solve our problems with the same level of thinking that created them." So this is very relevant to our theme of hackathon, and especially for the finale round, where we are encouraging the participants to build a problem solving solution based product or a prototype, and try to pitch that in a live environment in front of the judges and the audience. So let us move further. So let me introduce to you the first of all, let me give an introduction of the hackathon. So basically, round robin hackathon was a 3 round hackathon, and it consisted of a first round of a time-based quiz, and in which there was 25 questions out of 30, in 30 minutes, and it was related to technological and advancement in health, community, sustainability, related to Web3, blockchain, and also consists of quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning ability, and etc. So it was over and all logical, critical, and related to technical aspects. So it tested various participants, and out of 100 plus participants which participated registered for this hackathon, we got 25 participants in the second round. And there the second round, we try to give them a problems based on some real world issues, and try to give them get solutions from them in a 1 or 2 pages doc format. And those solutions were pretty good. They were appreciated by our judges. Our judges uh, analyzed and basically judged the solutions. They appreciated all every of the solutions. Based on those solutions, we shortlisted 10 participants for the finale round, for the round 3 of the round robin hackathon. And so to start with, what you all be getting to see in this finale round is that the finalists were asked to make a problem solving product out of the domains which we shared to them. The domains were related to technological, IoT, Web3, web development, app development, and etc. Something social related, community related, and etc. So the domains were given to the participants, the finalists, and they have to find a problem. And to that problem, they have to work on a product or a prototype to solve that problem in an efficient manner, and come up with a solution which is analyzed and practice and worked on various parameters like critical analysis, and cost efficiency, feasibility, scalability, and even working on a code implementation if they have code in their solution. So working on a code part and try to build a prototype, a design, and etc. So moving on, who are the judges in our round robin hackathon? So let me introduce to the judges. The first two of them are really popular. You all know them basically. They are the Saft Water co-founders. They won the IBM Code for Cause global prizes. They are Rishikesh Bhandari and Satyam Prakash. And our third judge is Ashwin and Haber, which is the web admin of Bandipur House and is also an experienced web developer. He is also conducting various hackathons, a long hackathon of web development. You must have known Decathlon in this Savan Fest also. So I'm very obliged that these 3 judges came on board in our judges panel and analyzed and judged the solutions of the participants. And now they'll be judging the participants' pitches and their products in this finale round. So moving on to the finalist list. So we basically we were having 10 finalists, but it was a time-based hackathon, and we gave the problem domains to them yesterday at 10 a.m. And the hackathon started at 12 p.m. yesterday, and it lasted till 2 p.m. today. So the solutions and the reports which we got as the submissions from as per the deadline were from the 7 participants only. So here are the 7 qualified finalists for the presentation of their pitchings of their products in the final round are as follows. And these will be the order of their presentation as well. So participants, please take note of these order. So first of all, we have Khushi Singh, then Sarvesh E, then Samyukt MS, and then Parth Mamotra, then Puneet, and then Jivesh Kumar Bancho, and then Lakshmi Shruti K. So these are some of the individual participants. Some of them are in teams as well, and you'll get to see some quality products from them. And let's start with Khushi Singh's presentation. So may I ask Khushi to start with her presentation and share her screen?
Hello,
Yeah,
Ritik. I would like to add something. Can
yeah,
we have some
Arya.
words from judges? Can we have some words from judges as well?
Yeah, sure. We can have some words from judges, and I
Be-
would like to appreciate you for stopping me in between, so that we can have some intro from our judges as well, and what they think about the presentations and the pitches, and basically what about the participants and the finalists. So may I ask judges one by one? So Satyam, can you start with?
Yeah, sure. Am I audible and
Yeah, you are
visible?
audible.
Okay. Namaskar. I am Satyam Prakash, and thank you so much, Ritik, for giving the introduction. And first of all, I'm very thankful to you and your round robin hackathon team for inviting me and becoming and allowing me to become the part of the judging panel. Thank you so much for that. And me and my colleagues who are part of the judging panel, we went through all the solutions and project ideas given by the participants. And believe me, it was a bit challenging for me and I guess for others as well to, rank the participants. Like there were some instances where I was in a tiebreaker kind of situation, and I need to take a call. So sometimes we have to come up with these situations. But anyways, all the entries that were provided by the learners or the participants were were aimed to solve a particular problem. Getting a 100% working solution, I also believe that it is not possible in this short amount of time. But your ambition or your एक जो जज्बा होता है कि हमको एक सॉल्यूशन बनाना है जो कि एक पर्टिकुलर प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करे, अगर वो जज्बे के साथ हम काम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं तो हो सकता है शुरुआत में कभी सफलता नहीं मिले, बट एक समय ऐसा आता है जब हम उसके ऊपर लगे रहते हैं तो एट लास्ट हमें भी एक अचीवमेंट मिलता रहता है, मिल जाता है कभी ना कभी. अगर मैं आपको अपना एग्जांपल कोट करूं, व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड आवर जर्नी, आवर साफ वाटर जर्नी, शुरू में हम लोगों के पास भी कुछ इतना अच्छा प्रोडक्ट नहीं था या प्रोजेक्ट नहीं था, बट स्टिल we were working on our solution. We thought to come up with new ideas every day and how we can implement in our project and make it better. So ये एक प्रोसेस है जो कि चलता रहता है. एंड कभी इस प्रोसेस में हार मिलती है, कभी जीत मिलती है. जीत मिलता है तो थोड़ा खुश मिलता है, हार मिलता है तो उससे डीमोटिवेट नहीं होना चाहिए, रादर लेसन लर्न करना चाहिए एंड वी शुड गो अहेड. And I wish all the best to the finalists who have qualified round 2 and now in the finale round. And I really wish कि बहुत अच्छे projects आगे निकल कर आएँ और हमें अपॉर्चुनिटी मिले उन लोगों के साथ इंटरेक्ट करने के लिए जो कि एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप माइंडसेट और इनोवेशन माइंडसेट के साथ आते हैं. तो ये एक प्लेटफॉर्म भी बहुत अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म है, जैसे राउंड रॉबिन हैकाथॉन प्लेटफॉर्म जो है, यहाँ पे बहुत से स्टूडेंट्स को ऑफ कोर्स एक शुरुआत करने का मौका मिला है, लाइक हाउ दे कैन think upon an idea, think upon a problem statement and build solution across that. All the best to everyone. I really wish that deserving candidates become the winner of this hackathon. All the best to everyone. Wish you all good luck. Thank you.
Yeah, some words of wisdom from itself a South Water co-founder, and he better knows the market and how to build a product. Now moving on to the another part of the South Water co-founding, Rishikesh M. Bhandari. Please have the stage.
Yeah, first of all, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. Yeah, good evening, everybody. I'm sure you must be excited for the pitching round. First of all, today is 15th August, and wishing you all and everybody happy Independence Day. This is our we are completing 75th year of independence. So wishes to everyone from my end and from Team Saffwater. I'll just introduce myself quickly and then maybe we'll move on. I am Rishikesh Bhandari. I am the co-founder and CEO of TechExcel India Private Limited, which is the company behind Saffwater. We are a part of 6 people from across India who are in this company, and we also, like you guys, met in a competition, kind of like a hackathon, which was organized by Niti Aayog, and from there we started our team journey, and that's how we came up with Saffwater. Quick wishes to every. First of all, it was a very difficult round, I would say, from say round 1 with the quiz round and round 2 with report submission and all. So even if you don't win, or even if you win, it is great that you guys cleared round 1 and 2. Very much congratulations to everybody who cleared, and even to those who couldn't clear, because participating itself makes a huge difference than winning or losing. And again, I would say I always keep on saying the same thing: do not just aim for this competition, but aim for a very big vision. And as Satyam said, we should come up with products towards a solution, that a problem that is faced by a lot of people, a problem that is big, that is grassroots, and focus on the user itself. So best luck to everybody here, and looking forward to hear your pitches. Excited from my end too. Thank you.
Yeah. Now moving on to our third judge, I request Ashwin to share some word of wisdom with the participants and with the audience.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Ritik. Hey all, my name is Ashwin, and I'm the web admin of Bandepur House. Well, I was technically speaking, but yeah, so coming to the hackathon for today, well, first of all, congratulations for making it to the finals. It's a big feat in itself, because even the first round and the second round, they were not easy. We saw the questions, and they were not, they were not something that anybody can do easily. So that's definitely something all you guys should be proud about. And second of all, as Satyam and Mr. Bhandari already mentioned, during judging, during second round, when we were judging, as well as when you guys will judge right now, more often than not, we will have to take some calls, but that doesn't mean that one person is better than the other or anything like that. Simply because to put the timeline into perspective, you guys got around 24 hours for the third round to prepare all of the things, and us judges, we got access to your projects a few hours prior. And I must say, the amount of stuff all of you guys have done in the last 24 hours is frankly kind of crazy. All of you guys have prototypes, all of you guys have something to show, a working prototype, perhaps some of you guys. So that in itself is really a big achievement, I must say. And with that being said, I think that's about it. I'm really excited to look at your pitches and go through the hackathon today. Thank you all. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, Ritik.
Yeah, sure. And I also very thankful to the judges to come on board. I'm again thankful to them. And regarding the second round solutions, which is come raised by all three judges, yeah, I also judge the solutions based as I'm the president of Robin Hood Club and I was also the organizing member. So based on their grading, I also judge the solutions. So if some participants doesn't qualify for the finale round, they shouldn't think themselves down. They should think of a big vision. Each solution which we got were a close point or close call for us, and it can be seen in the finale round result scheme also, where the marks were very close to each other. It's not about winning or losing. It's about how you can present yourself, work on problems, and how you can come up with something big and come up with something in a big vision and continue even after this hackathon concludes and you win or lose. You should work on the problem solutions which you have worked now. So these were the words from my end. And let us start with the first presentations from Khushi. Khushi Singh, please start with your presentation.
Yes, I'm audible.
Yeah, you are audible, but your voice is too low, I think so.
Okay, sir. Just
Yeah, are you facing some internet issue?
yes, sir. Some internet issues are there right now.
Yeah. So are you able to share your screen?
I'm trying to just. Can you wait for 1 minute?
Yeah, we can wait for a 1 minute.
Ritik, I think since she's having network issue, I think we can go with the next participant if they're ready. We can give
Yeah, sure.
some time, right?
We
Because
can.
the presentation
If
also.
Khushi, you are facing some internet issue, please resolve it, and we should move on to our next participant. Sarvesh E, are you there? Can you present your presentation now?
Yes, sir, I'm here. I can present it right now. So
Yeah,
shall I
sure.
share
Please
my screen?
present. Yeah, sure. Please share your screen.
Yeah. Can you see my screen right now?
Yeah, it is visible.
Yeah. So good evening to all present here. I'm Sarvesh. So my product is RoadQ. So before going to talk about what my product is going to do and how it is going to be implemented, I would like to talk about why we want this product. The first thing is that every year we can see due to the road accidents, there are a lot of losses in lives, and it causes serious injuries to the people around the world. And I don't want to give the statistics to these things. I'm sure that you might have known the statistics by your own. So, and talking about what's the core reason for these accidents, in most of the cases we can see it's the driver's behavior which causes the accident. Is the driver's driving behavior? It can be either the drivers or someone else who is driving creating the accident. So now we'll come up to the solution what we have, which is RoadQ. And talking about RoadQ, it is an initiative to prevent, predict, and reduce the risk of these accidents. And you'll be asking like how we can implement these. The thing is that we'll be analyzing the data sets, and we'll be getting the real-time inputs like monitoring using a camera about the driving patterns of the driver, and like how often he is changing the lanes and how he is changing the lanes, whether he is trying to overtake other vehicles. Or using those things, we'll be training our model, and then we'll be continuously improving our model, and we'll be giving the real-time analysis of how the driver is driving. So talking about, we'll be having personalized dashboards for each driver. This is not only applicable for drivers, even a normal user who can who knows to drive a car can also use this. The thing is that we need some hardware requirements, like we'll be needing a camera and those sensors. So that part still I haven't figured it out, like how to proceed to the next stage. So I'm working on that. And so talking about the personalized dashboards which we have, the first thing is that what the drivers can see in the dashboard. The first thing is that he can see his profile, the name, and his personal information and all those stuff. And they can also see some suggestions based on their driving pattern. Like, those suggestions will be much more accurate because it will be based on the previous driving patterns which they have come across. So there will also be a section called mistakes done in every journey. Like, you'll be selecting the journey from where to where you're going. You'll be selecting that journey, and the previous mistakes which you have did will be shown in that region. And then talking about, we'll be having a separate column for safety measure rating, and this will be much accurate measure of we'll be seeing how many accidents he or she is a part of, and in how many accidents it's his mistake. We cannot say that he's a part of an accident where the other driver was creating some issues. So that cannot be taken as a accident on his account. So that's the thing which will be making sure in the safety measure rating. And the next is a rating of the driver. It will determine how perfection he has in driving, like how he is able to how he is able to manage the situations more appropriately. And then what a user can see in the personalized dashboard is that he'll be having a list of drivers. He'll be saying the rating of the driver and the safety measure rating of that corresponding driver. So we'll not be showing these mistakes to them, because actually these things is mistakes, and how many accident he made, these things make the users feel uncomfortable. So that's not the thing which we're going to focus on. So only the rating of the driver and the safety measure rating will be focusing on. And actually this is going to be completely based on quantum machine learning. So for those who don't know what quantum machine learning is, I'll just give a small intro about machine learning, and then from there I'll go to quantum machine learning. Like, this will be just a single slide, so not much of a content. So the first thing is that in case of machine learning, we'll be using this normal classical data, where we'll be categorizing as the supervised data and unsupervised data. And in case of quantum machine learning, we'll be using quantum data. And in case of machine learning, it is actually a slow and sequential process. It's based on bits, and it's a slow process compared to the quantum machine learning, where we'll be using multiple states concurrently. You'll be using qubits in that cases. So I don't want to, you don't need to understand all these. I'm just giving a small gist about how we are going to make it. That's it. So no need to worry more about it. So talking about this will actually reduce the time exponentially to train your model. So talking about one of the, I'm sure that you might have seen this last point everywhere in newspapers when you came across quantum computers. When Google started with the quantum computing stuff, and when they achieved this quantum supremacy, you might have known these things, like quantum computers are can breach the online security by using the prime factorization. It can do the prime factorization in just a few minutes, which a normal computer would take a long time to, like, it will take years to do that calculation. So that's how the quantum computers are much powerful. And the reason why I'm using quantum machine learning is that it can work on a large data set in a quick time, and we can also train our model much quickly than any other startup. So talking about one of our competitors, we can say, hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, okay. So talking about one of our competitor, they had actually even they are specialized in they also have a similar kind of a product. But the thing is that they are using machine learning for in that case, which can be a slower, which is slow in most of the cases. But in my case, where I'll be using quantum machine learning for this, the training the model will be much faster compared to other things. And one more thing I want to clarify over here is that since this quantum machine learning field is a very much new field, it is still emerging. Maybe you cannot expect a working model right now, and I cannot show it completely right now. But I think it will take a long time to build this whole thing. I'm sure I can do this. And what's the expansion plan I have over here is that the short-term goal, I'm just planning to expand it all over India. So I think even the short-term goal would take a long time compared to other startups. And in case of a long-term goal, I have to expand it. I'm planning to expand it all over the world. So talking about our audience, who are our audience for using the app. So everyone who knows driving, they can assess their driving skills over here. And they can also, they are actual drivers who drive heavy vehicles. They can also assess their driving skills over here, and they can get the safety measure rating and the rating how they drive. And this is a very important part. Those who want to be safe from road accident, and this is one of the thing which everyone wants to have. So to those who want to have this facility, they can use our app. So talking about yeah, we've reached the end of the session. So with this, I just want to say one small quote about this. Start using RoadQ and become resistant to accidents. Thank you.
Yeah, a good idea, Sarvesh, and a good presentation from your end. I would like judges to have some word on his presentation and ask some questions if you have any.
Yeah, hi. Hi, Sarvesh. Good presentation. I just have a couple of questions.
Yes,
First of all, tell me one thing. Are you trying to control any vehicle component? So, for example, if there is some pattern that shows that the driver is not driving properly, so there is high chance of accident. So, are you controlling something where it prevents the accident?
no,
Say,
sir. Like actually, the concept over here is that we'll be assessing the driver's skills alone. Like we'll be having a small camera in before the driving steering something, so that we could monitor how he's behaving to the circumstances outside. Like for example, whether he cannot feel drowsy while he's driving. So those kind of small things can be indicated to the driver, so that those can be a small thing, but it can avoid huge loss.
so only, I mean, if you go to see, you should install a camera in front of the driver, which would
Yes, sir.
look at the driver, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So, okay, one use case, as you said, drowsiness. So why should I, for example, if I'm a user, I'm a driver, okay?
Yes, sir.
If I own a vehicle, why should I get it installed in my vehicle? Because it's not protecting me directly from an accident. If you go to see.
Yes, sir. Actually, it's not protecting you directly, but it can actually prevent you from getting into accidents. It will actually change the driving behavior. If you have a bad driving behavior, it will change it to a moderate one. So that will actually help to change your driving behavior, and can also help. It may not directly help you with the accidents. In the future, it may help you and other users as well.
Okay. I have two more questions. One
Yes, sir.
regarding QML and the other one regarding the startup that you mentioned. So
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to ask what all parameters that you are assessing with machine learning. So you said that you are having a camera in front of the driver. So you will be having the driver's behavior data. Environment data, I think you won't be getting it directly with the camera because you don't have a camera that is pointing outside. So what all
Yes, sir.
information that you are assessing with your system?
So first thing is that actually, if like even in the Tesla cars, you can see outside also we'll be having certain cameras. So similar to that, we'll be having cameras outside as well, and inside we'll be having the camera which will be monitoring. We'll be having 2-3 cameras which will be monitoring the driver's behavior to the current environment. So
Okay. And tell me one thing: how can the machine learning, because you are using a quantum machine learning type of process, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
if you're using that, definitely your cost will increase because you have all the overheads. So obviously,
Yes, sir.
whatever you are charging to you, the user would also increase, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
and then you said that you will have to wait for the technology to develop, but then
Yes, sir.
what would you do if the existing competitors already capture the market?
Yes, sir. Like you're saying that the existing competitors has a large chance of capturing the market, right, sir?
Yes, yeah, they would capture your audience.
Yes, sir. But the thing is that since the quantum machine learning is also evolving, even they cannot shift it directly before what I am going to develop. So I think, anyways, after the quantum machine learning gets to a certain point, I think I'll be able to till that point I'll be collecting these data sets and trying to assess things.
So would
And
you be
talking about,
selling a device
yes, sir.
to collect those data?
Yes, hello. Can you repeat
Yeah,
it, sir?
you would be selling some devices to collect the data, or you would be collecting on voluntary basis?
On voluntary basis, sir. Like because
Okay.
I don't think like people will be buying those things and just for our case they won't be buying those things. So I think based on voluntary basis we can try on that, sir. And also I think there will be some data sets data available with these companies. They are selling those data. I think we can get from there as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm done. Maybe Satyam or Ashwini can ask.
Yeah. Satyam, do you have any queries? Or can I go ahead?
Yeah, I have one question to Sarvesh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hello, Sarvesh. Nice presentation.
Hi, sir. Thank you,
So,
sir.
yeah. So, can you tell me that just I want to understand for my clearance. So,
Yes, sir.
you are identifying the driving pattern or driving behavior of a particular individual,
Yes, sir.
and based on that, you are doing the analysis and telling and preventing the accidents, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So do you believe that you have any competition in the market at the moment who
Yes, sir.
is?
Like actually, the competition is that there's a startup called Nauto. So actually, what they do is this is a much more similar concept to them. But the thing is that they'll be using the classical machine learning algorithms to train their models. But the thing is, for training those, just a minute.
Yeah.
But for training those models, it will take a lot of time to train. For even for the reinforcement part, it'll be taking a lot of time to do this, sir. So I think my model, it will take a much less time compared to the classical models which they are using.
Okay. Okay. So
The only part is
why?
that we'll be needing the data sets. That's the only thing which we'll be focusing on right now till the quantum machine learning part is getting evolved. And once it gets evolved, once we are ready with the data sets which we have, then we can directly start with this.
ठीक है, ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
Why I raised this question was recently I gave my driving test in Delhi, and you I think Delhi is the first region in the country to have implement automatic driving testing track kind of facility. So
Yes, sir. I have heard
what
about
I
it.
observed, yeah, what I observed there that they are also kind of doing the similar kind of activity, like with the help of image processing and their computation, they are identifying the driving behavior in that short time where the applicant is given time to ride the vehicle or drive the vehicle. They are identifying their driving pattern with help of image processing and all. And what I feel is they are not using quantum computing there. I'm sure
Yes,
quantum
sir.
computing is a great tool, and but do you think that your solution might fall back because of the economics involved? Because quantum computing is still evolving and it is expensive as compared to the existing solution that these automatic driving test facilities are using. So do you
Yes, sir.
believe that this can happen, and how you believe you can overcome this?
Actually, there is a startup called IonQ, sir. Like it's one of they are actually planning to develop the world's powerful quantum computers. Thing is that I think when there are a lot of players like them coming into the market, I think the prices will definitely go down. Uh, I'm not going to start it right away, so I'm just going to collect the data till it will takes a long. I know it will take a long time. For data collection, I'll be planning to take something, and then after a data collection, I'll be starting with, once the things go in place, I'll be starting to implement it.
Okay, Sarvesh. Thank you for your response.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Sarvesh.
Yes, sir.
So, dude, first of all, really nice presentation. I really like your presentation was very readable, right? And that is a
Thank you,
very
sir.
good thing. I have a few questions.
Yes, sir.
Since you are focusing so much on data, like at least in the current phase of your idea,
Yes, sir.
I think you should have mentioned a little bit more about how we are going to collect that data, because from what you said to Rishikesh,
Yes, sir.
you said that you would have a camera of sorts, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, the thing is, first of all, with growing concerns about privacy and all that, I mean, I'm sure you've heard of the privacy issues with Meta, Google, and whatnot, right?
Yes,
So, are people actually going to take the voluntary step to, enroll in your program? One, that is the first question, right? And the second
Yes, sir.
question is something like a camera only enough to maybe it is enough to record drowsiness, for example, what Tesla does, right? Tesla basically has multiple cameras, but the inside cameras pretty much almost exclusively focus on the driver, and they check whether if the person is sleeping, and if they're sleeping, it'll alert the driver, right?
Yes, yes.
Think about a situation where there is unfortunately a crash or something like that. How are you going to decide who the responsible person is? Because generally, if a crash happens, there is no like one fault, generally speaking, at least, right?
Yes, sir.
Nobody voluntarily goes and crashes into a wall or a car, right?
Yes, sir.
Generally speaking, the reason is more than one. It's just a culmination of multiple factors that just happen to be at a really bad position at the same time. So I didn't really understand your idea of like pointing out to one person about their mistake. Now, I know you mentioned that you're not going to explicitly mention the mistake, but just the fact that like the score will come down is discouraging enough for the person, right? So I think that is one thing you have to think about.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any comments on this, first of all?
Actually, I just thought about this idea, but I didn't really have a solution behind that. So I'll research about it more, sir.
Great. So my second question is, you mentioned about your competitors, right?
Yes, yes.
Which I think is a very good idea. Like I said, this presentation is complete. You mentioned about your competitors, how you're going to train and everything. So I think it's a great idea that you've mentioned your competitors. But my question is, since there already exist competitors and you're still in the data collections phase, right?
Yes, sir.
Don't you think even with the use of quantum machine learning, you would still fall behind? Because the way I see this is how I see it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you'll collect all the data, but you'll have to start training your model from scratch.
Yes, sir. But the thing is, it will take a less amount of time to train the model. Maybe we should have this large data sets ready with us first before getting into the real coding stuff. So I think.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. But think about it this way, right? So these companies that are already there that have
they have a lot of data with them. That's
at least like a half working solution, right? Of course, the companies won't share their data with you. That is their selling point, and they won't share their data with you. So
yes,
since they already have their data, and they already have a stream of revenue.
Yes, sir.
Right. So what makes you, like a step ahead of them? Because they have the economic advantage, they have the data advantage, as well as, they already have a trained model, half trained model at least.
Half trained model, yeah.
Right. So
yes, sir.
This is something you just have to give some thought about. I think apart from that, yeah, I think really good presentation too. That's all from my side.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll rectify those mistakes. Whatever you three of them told. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
So yeah, it's a good presentation from your end, Sarvesh. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, if it's it's clear from judges part and the questions are being answered. So we can move on to another presentation from Samyukta MS. So Samyukta, are you ready with your presentation?
Thank you,
Oh,
guys.
yes, sir. Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Are you sharing your screen?
Yeah, I'll share it.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
It says like I can't share the screen because you're okay. Thank
Yeah, you can now. I just stopped sharing.
you. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, your screen is visible. You can move on.
Yeah. So good evening, everybody. This is Samyukta, and I'll be pitching about my product Iris. Before I go into this, I'd first of all like to thank Robin Hood Society for giving this opportunity to me. So, as said by our Prime Minister this morning on the 75th Independence Day, he says like India wants to become self-sustainable and self-reliant on its resources, and more of make in India should be there. So, I think this is one a way to start it. So what is Iris all about? So there is no better way to thank God for your sight than by giving a helping hand to someone in the dark. So worldwide, we see like 1.3 billion people suffer from some sort of visual impairment, and 45 million people suffer from complete blindness. If there is no change in the current trend of blindness, then the number of people in India who are blind will increase to 31.6 million in 2025. So the plan is to develop an app that would help people, blind people, navigate easily. So to bring about inclusivity in the society, it is important to actively work on removing discrimination on any grounds. So according to me, knowledge will serve its true purpose only when it is put to help the needy. To promote inclusivity and to make the lives of people with visual impairments better, it is necessary to help them commute easily and most importantly on their own. There goes the saying, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish, you feed him for lifetime. So when looking for a solution, it's important to make it long term. So what I stand for? To integrate navigation applications and object identification algorithms and create an application to aid the blind to make the application and services available, accessible, and useful to the needy. And IRIS believes in universalization of technological benefits going beyond the barriers that restrict or marginalize societies. So what does this app have? So using any normal smartphone with a camera, one can use this app. On starting the app, the camera will process the surroundings and give voice commands to the user regarding the objects around him or her, the distance between the objects, and if there is any obstacle, and so on. There is also a feature which will help the user to find misplaced objects in the room. The entire working of the app will be controlled using voice commands, and a slight modification is to be made in the traditional walking stick, which can thus facilitate mounting of the camera onto it. So here are the salient features of the app and how am I going to approach it. So the project environment is as follows. It will have Google Colab or VS Code for training the object detection algorithm and Android Studio, VS Code for developing the mobile application. And the programming languages that I'll be using are Python, Swift, Java, or Dart. So I will still work on that part. And the packages, OpenCV, TensorFlow, and JSON. And hardware is any smartphone with good specifications to handle computer vision process. So the algorithm that I'll be using is Davidson's et al. Algorithm. So this is the algorithm that goes behind calculating the distance between the object and the camera. So this is a very academic stuff here, which gives how the distance will be calculated. And I'll also be using directional judgment so that the image will be split into three parts. One is left, right, and front, and to find the direction of the object. How is this app different from the existing ones? So there are quite a few apps that aid the blind. However, they are specific to one purpose. For example, Be My Eyes, a wonderful initiative, connects sighted people with those who are in need so that the former can help the latter through remote video communication. However, this depends on the sighted person's credibility, availability of sighted persons at the time of need, connectivity to screen the blind person's surrounding as clearly as possible, and many such issues. Similarly, there are many aimed specifically at text reading, object identification, and so on. However, a real-time sensing of surroundings hasn't been much traded in the of path of the assistance to blind. There is a high probability, so that's the main reason that there's a high probability that this app would be successful. So this through this project, we can provide easy to use application for the blind community, which will help them navigating to their destination with ease while ensuring their safety, and will also help them find lost objects in their surroundings. And if you talk about the scalability and economic feasibility of this project, the app will be deployed using Docker. So we may not require some really massive GPU in the mobile phone. So since that's not possible, this entire app will be deployed using a Docker. So there will not be much need for a high processing chip in the phone. And any smartphone with a decent processor will be able to do its job. And the implementation is also economically feasible with the help and interventions from the government. So this is we need partially help from the government to implement this idea. So this is how the stick would look like in the end with a mount to with a stand to mount the mobile phone and so on. So now I'll show the prototype, like how the prototype works. I have got a working prototype. So So as you can see, this is my first prototype, using which I can lively detect objects using this stream. So this is my live stream, my video, and you can see there is a green square around my face, which is used as object detection. And the second one is detecting objects, with its probability from a video. So this is the input video that I'll be feeding. And so this is the video after object detection. So here you can see it is able to identify the dog, the person, the bag, and other objects in it. So the machine learning model that I've used is YOLO H5, which is trained on the COCO data set. And there is another prototype as well. So as you can see, this will give the distance between myself and the camera. So here, as I'm sitting here, it's about 35 centimeter. And once I stand and move behind, you can see the distance is increasing. So as I move, the distance from myself and the camera is calculated accordingly. So as concluding remark, visually impaired people face difficulties in performing many day-to-day activities that we take for granted. So the aim of the project is to solve one or at least few of these difficulties that are like navigating to a destination by foot and locating misplaced objects by creating an app that facilitates object detection along with voice assistance, which will assist disabled individuals to overcome navigation problems. So that's all. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Yeah, really a good presentation and a working implementation from you, Samyukta. I would ask judges to have some words and some questions if they have to.
Yeah,
Yeah, please
sure.
go ahead.
I'll go ahead first. First of all, good presentation, Samyukta. I have a couple of questions, not in the technical side, but more into the problem solving point of view. So you said there is a need of a smartphone, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so there are 9.2 million blind in India itself, and I believe the statistics say that it's only 10% who are able to afford a smartphone.
Yes, sir.
So, how do you plan to tackle this issue so that your
Yeah,
solution?
so yeah, I mentioned before, like we need government's intervention for this. Um,
Okay.
Partially with the government funding only this is possible. So developing some device on its own would cost even higher. So that's why I thought of making an app to help them.
Okay. And anything apart from government, like because cracking government
Hmm.
offers or opportunities would take a lot of time and even resources also. So
Yes, sir.
anything apart from that?
Maybe if this idea impresses some investors or some NGOs, we'd be able to give them. So uh, that's the idea that I have. Right.
NGO is a good one though. So my next question to you is, since you are using a smartphone, is there a requirement of pointing the smartphone every time, or is it like you just put it somewhere, or you have a
Yeah,
mouse?
we mount it. So we have to make some slight modifications in the walking stick that the blind use. So which will have a place to mount the mobile phone.
So it is cane mountable device, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay. One more last question on the technical side. You said your algorithm uses some depth information about the pixels and all those things, right? Some very highly specific a camera specification that you need to calculate distance. So,
Yeah. So as you see in my implementation, I've used a value called 1.3. So if you want, I can share the screen and show. So that doesn't require much of a. It is designed in a way like the algorithm is written in a way that it can use a camera with a normal specification. For example, my own laptop's camera is not that good. Still, it works to a decent level. But then I have to think about ways to make it better.
got it. So you have a standard specification device. So based on
Yeah.
that, it automatically adjusts. Okay, good.
And also about the internet issues, those things should be taken into consideration. I agree.
Okay, got
With
it.
a lower bandwidth, this app should be able to work. But yeah, I'll work on all this. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's more of an implementation problem that you will have to look
Mhm.
out for. But apart
Yes.
from that, yeah, I'm done with my questions.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Hey Samyukta, Ashwin here.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Samyukta, very nice presentation. I really like the fact that you took up stats, like actual existing statistics, and you produced your arguments based on it. Just one small, this is not like a criticism or anything, just one small pointer is when you are especially mentioning technology, right? Like let's say Python, Java, some kind of just I think it's important to mention, especially in a round like this, it is important to mention that this is tentative because you never know
Okay.
how fast technology goes. For example,
Yes.
tomorrow you might have a new Python library that is really good at machine learning, better than TF2, Keras, or whatever it is, right? So
Yes, sir.
it's not like a criticism or anything. It's not like a bad point or anything. Just something that you have to take care of.
Yeah, sure, sir.
And I really like the fact that you've mentioned the USP pretty clearly, and also took the example of how it clearly defines you, clearly puts you apart. One small thing, well, I have two small technical doubts. First one
Okay.
is, how are you going to give the information to the user? As in, like, whatever data that you collect, let's say I was standing 60 centimeters from a blind person, right? How is it going to be through audio, or how is it going to be given to the user?
It will be through audio. So it would say there's a person, say 60 centimeters from you. So watch it.
Okay, yeah, okay, that is good. My next query is about your the distance measurement thing again, that the demo you showed. It's just a laptop webcam, right? I mean, are you using any kind of IR gear or LiDAR sensor?
Oh, no. It's my
just
laptop webcam.
Okay, that is good. Those two are, yeah, just two small queries from my side. I think very nice idea. If I know you made this idea up for the sake of this hackathon, maybe you had this in your mind, right from before. But I think this is really a nice idea. If possible, try to continue this and make it into actually, like in real something real. So I think that.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Can I go now?
Yeah,
Yes.
Satyam.
So Samyukta, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So nice presentation, Samyukta. I have a
Thank
question
you.
to you. Uh, just from my understanding, I want to know first of all that are you going to mount this smartphone on the stick that the blind person is holding? If I have
Yes,
understood.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So my question is like how far the object needs to be placed so that the camera can analyze it and detect it and tell the user that there is some object in front of you. Like, is there any kind of threshold or threshold kind of thing?
Yes, sir. Like for my current implementation, I've fixed it to 25 centimeters for my laptop's webcam. So when I'm implementing using a smartphone in real, I think I have to work on that.
Okay. So, see, one use case scenario that I would like to present to you.
Hmm.
Suppose there is some visual impaired person standing. He
Okay.
might not be aware what is 10 feet in front of him, and it may not be necessary also. For him, it is necessary to know that what is in front of him or her in the next 2 feet, because when usually we walk, okay, on the road, uh, we are we have to we have to know about what is in exactly in front of us. If suppose there is some blockage in suppose 10 feet away or 15 feet away, that may not be important for me to know at the moment, but it is important for me to know that what is in front of me, that is 2 feet away. See, what I am telling you is that this 25 centimeter threshold that you are telling to me, telling to us, there could be a small obstacle that your camera might not detect, and that
Yes,
is in
sir.
the range of this 25 centimeter.
Hmm.
In that case, your this system might fail because it is unable to detect that obstacle. But at the same
Yes,
time, uh, it is also important for your system to basically identify that, otherwise it can hurt that visually impaired person. So how you think you can overcome this threshold? I understand that this technology or any sensing device needs some threshold kind of distance to
hmm.
uh, prove the quality of the result. But I just wanted to know, have you thought of this, and if yes, what in what direction have you thought to reduce this threshold thing,
So
that is
I thought
20?
of including sensors to the stick, but I don't know how economically feasible that would turn out. So that's why I didn't mention it earlier in you. But yeah, I think we should try to reduce the threshold so that it gives better performance and it actually serves its purpose.
Okay, yeah. One thing last that I want to tell you, you should think about from economic point of view as well, because whenever a usually impaired person is holding the stick, you might have seen them, those people take the sticks right left direction just to know
Uh,
about what is exactly in front of them. So that purpose is getting solved by 100 or I don't know 200 rupees stick. So why would that person would go for some costly sensor based technology? So
this
this kind
one
of thing.
one yeah, one thing that that actually inspired me to take this problem was I thought about like how people blind people would navigate in the dark even with the stick. What if there was a dog or something else there? It would be too late when they realize it. So that was what actually pushed me to think about having an app that would help them navigate. So yeah, like,
Okay, thank you Samyukta for your response. All the
yes,
best.
thank you.
Yeah, Samyukta, a great presentation from your end. And I would suggest this was a good implementation part also you did, and you should continue working on it. And considering the fact that economically it should be viable also, so you should also take that into consideration while if you continue to work in future on this product. So may I ask the next participant to present their screen? So please, Khushi Singh, are you there available?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
So yeah, your issue was resolved now. So are
Yes, sir.
you
Yes.
able to present your screen? So please
Yes.
go ahead.
So, good evening to one and all present over here. My name is Khushi Singh, and I am a student of foundational level of IITM BSc course. So, I have chosen the domain of web development, and I've worked on the project, which is the music streaming app. And now I will be moving to the next slide, which will be showing you about the product summary or the overview of the product of mine, which I would be discussing in our presentation. So first is why I built this product. The second one is what are the benefits of it. Third one is the working of my product. The fourth one is the technologies to be used in my product. And the fifth is the future goals. Sixth one is the conclusion of it. So moving to the next slide, why I built this product. So basically, the product name of mine is Tune Shed, and you have heard of products like this, like Spotify or Ghana or something like that, which are very popular. But the thing is that which I faced as a user, that they ask for the premium subscription of it at every 30 minutes or every minute when we are listening, and a user or a youngster doesn't want to be get interrupted in between when they are listening to music. So I decided that I will be solving this minor problem, which is not a major one, but it is a problem in our day-to-day life. So I thought to design a website which will be very handy and very attractive for the user to use, and it will be ad free, which is very seen in very few apps or very few websites. So my website will be having ad free playback, and the graphics and the designing of it will be very attractive, so that the user will be very attracted towards it, as the youngster wants a music player to be very handy or very attractive, so that they can listen to it and they don't want to switch to any other things. As what happens that I am using Spotify, but what happens that when an ad comes or when something comes, so I just switch to some other apps, so that I can't get uninterrupted listening. I want just uninterrupted listening. So that is what I do. So to solve this problem, I designed this product. So this is the basic 3 web pages of my web application. The first one is the landing page, which will look like this. It will have a join now option, the discover options, and a lot more. The second one is the feature through which we can discover new musics of our genre which we like. And the third one is the sign up page through which we can sign in, and then we can create an account in our website. So yeah, this slide is the working of my project. I have created a UI using the Figma app, and now I will be sharing that screen so that you can see the working of it. Yes. So this is the first page of my web application, which is the tune shed, and it will be having join now option, discover option, join option, and in the bottom it will be having footer in which the Instagram account of our product will be there, and the about us option and the contact us option will be there. So I have just created a 3 sample pages of my web application, which will look like this. The second one will look like this, and the third one will look like this. So basically, what we will do, if we will click on the discover option, it will move us to the second page directly. And if we click the join option, it will jump to the third page directly. And what happens that if we click this Instagram, then it will just open the Instagram page of our of our product, which is like this. It will open it. So this is what the a product will look like, and there will be more features in this. This is just a sample one. I will be adding more and more things so that it will be very useful and will give a tough competition to the existing apps. So now the technology which I will be using is, okay, so to create a web app, first we have to design, which is the UI designing, which now I have done with the help of Figma, but you can have, but one can do it with the help of Sketch or the Adobe XD. These are the options, but I have done it by using Figma. And the front-end development is the client-side thing, which can be done using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But nowadays, the React and Angular are used, and these are the libraries of the JavaScript. So that can be used to create the front-end part of our web application. And then the backend development, which is done by PHP, Python, and Ruby on Rails. So these are the things which I will be implementing in my project, as it is just a small sample, and I will be making it more big. So these are the future goals which I will be focusing on my product. So the first one is the increase of engagement. The second is the increase returning visitors, and third is reduce time to complete a task, and fourth is to ask questions from yourself. The first is increase engagement. As we know that this app requires our engagement to grow, and a website actually requires an engagement so that it can grow and it can be more and more available to the users. So I will do some stuff which will focus on the engagement one. I will use Google Analytics and all those stuff so that we can increase that engagement. And the second thing is increase returning visitor, which is a very large amount of users. So that what happens that if I'm using the app for once, and if I liked it, I will just return it to back. And if I don't like it, I will not look at that app again. So I just want to increase that thing so that it will increase the traffic of my web application. And the third one is to reduce the time to complete a task. As you know that this is a web application, and it will be used by more and more users, so that it requires a very vast time to make it. First the UI designing, and then the front end, then the back end to collect the data and to store it. So I will just focus on to reduce the complete of task. And I will ask the question from myself, which is that is it a really realistic app, or is it the scalable app? It can be scalable or not. So these are some questions which I'll be asking from myself in future. And moving to the next slide, this is the conclusion of my web application. The conclusion of my web application is that to stand very different from other applications like Spotify and Ghana and other things, so that what I will do is I will create a very good design, I will create a very good page layout, and will use a very different kind of fonts, the colors, the color combinations, and the graphics, so that the user will be very the user get attracted towards it and use it more and more. So these are the things which I will be focusing on. The last page is the thank you page. Thank you for listening me so patiently. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked the product idea of mine. Thank you so much.
Yeah, a good presentation from your end, Khushi. If judges have any questions, please go ahead.
Yeah, Khushi, your presentation was very nice. It was very peachy, if I could say that. I like the color scheme.
Thank you, sir.
There are a few questions that I have, right? So if you see how Spotify, Ghana, Savan, whatever it is, how they work, they basically run on some kind of revenue stream. Right?
Yes, sir.
And I might have missed it from your presentation maybe, but I did not see any solid revenue stream, because you told you'd be offering music for free. So if you didn't know, music also takes a lot of licensing to be able to put it on your platform, one, which in turn requires money. Not only that, but also if you are hosting music, you will also require a lot of like backend server equipments and whatever it is to basically host, which again is indirectly speaking money. So how are you going to, what is your revenue stream? How are you going to keep this whole project, if I could say, product, if, for that matter, sustainable is my main question.
Okay, so myself, I will not just invest in this product. I will just tell about my product to everyone out there, so that they will be listening to my product ideas, and they will be investing in that. So to maintain this things, to make it cost effective, and I will do much more things to make it cost effective. And the other thing is that if they will be impressed, they will invest. Otherwise I will just try to make it cost effective. As I will just do something which will make it more and more, uh, what say, to make it more cheap, or not to just increase the price of it.
Okay, sounds good.
Hi, Kushi. I also have the same question as Ashwin had, and similarly, I think even Satyam would have the same question. So you said, I'll just do a follow-up question to what Ashwin said. You said you want good returning I wouldn't say customers in your case because they aren't paying, right? So they're just your users rather than customers. So you want good returning users. You want to give them good experience. Okay, for a platform like this, I think it would be very difficult to give that experience because you are not charging anybody. You don't have a revenue model. And as far as when you are seeking to raise money from, say, VC or angel, how would you show a growth perspective on whatever they're investing? Because see, I know this is a more of a hackathon, so I mean we are going more into the pitching kind of stuff. But I mean it's a very basic question. If you're going to an investor, if you're asking for some money or if you want to raise some money, how are you going to show them some return, a decent return on investment? Not 100x or say 50x, but something decent. How would you do
Okay.
that?
Okay, so as I'm not charging, I will be showing the regular visitors list, or the number of users of my web application. And yeah, it will be very difficult. I agree to that point, because I'm not asking for any money or something. But I guess that it will be manageable. It will not be that tough.
Um, Anyways, I mean, there are ways to do that also, of course. You might have something else in your mind which you can come up later on also. But yeah, one suggestion from my end, even if you charge a very small amount, like say how Spotify or for that matter Apple Music, they charge just 49 rupees or something for on the subscription. I mean, it's not huge amount because you are also putting people in the habit, especially the youth, in the habit of not doing piracy or not falling into the habit of more getting items for free, where they are in the transition phase of earning and sustaining their family also. So, but yeah, the concept is good. I wouldn't say that the concept is not good, but I'm a little bit skeptical about the sustainability and the revenue model that you have in driving your solution and keeping your solution sustained. But yeah, good luck on that.
Okay, so I will be thinking about it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Hello. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, Satyam, you're audible.
Okay. Thank you, Kushi, for your presentation. So just wanted to say that myself and Rishikesh are at same place. So thank you, Rishi, for covering up my question. I also had some similar thoughts with your project. Just I want to one answer from you, Kushi. These days, uh, someone from a user perspective, if I ask you, I'm going to some web browser, then logging into your web page, and then signing in and doing all the stuff and all. Do you think you can make your platform more handy if you come up with some mobile application or something? Because that will reduce this time that the user needs to struggle to go and play the song. So just out of curiosity, that why particularly you picked up to build your platform on a website or some this website and not on mobile application? Just I was curious to know this.
Okay, so I just decided to make this web application for the beginner phase, as I will be just beginning with the web application. But after that, what I will do is I will just put a live support or the chat option in the bottom of my website so that the users can just drop the queries or the feedback which they want to. So what happened that if I will just start by creating the app, then I guess no one will use it or no one will be knowing about it. So first of all, I will create a website, and then by taking the feedback of the users, I will move on to the application part afterwards.
Okay, Kushi, thank you for your response.
Thank you,
So
sir.
one addition, Kushi, what we will, I would suggest that since you are also looking ahead to build it further, which is great, I would suggest you just look at how sustainable are this free game. I mean, not the free game as such, but have you heard about NVIDIA GeForce Now?
Yes,
Where you
sir.
can stream the or Xbox Live Pass and all. So where Game Pass and all, where you need not own a high-end computer. You take a subscription to play games on a computer or on a high-speed computer. So, what I would suggest is look at companies that do the similar thing but free of cost, where they allow, where to like give a good experience. They're keeping their users in a queue. So based on queue, uh, they allow people to enroll and then play games for a particular time. So you just look at that model and look at how you can improve from them, or maybe even use their models to probably make your platform better.
Okay, sir. I will research about it.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. One request from all the participants, as the time is quite short and the presentation are taking long. The rest of the participants, please try to be brief and be in time limit. And I also encourage judges to be brief and straight in their questions as well. So moving on to the next participant, let's start with Puneet. Puneet, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah, Puneet, go ahead with your presentation.
Okay. So is my screen visible?
Yeah, your screen is visible. Please continue.
Okay. Good evening, judges, guests, and my dear friends. So this is the final round of the round robin hackathon. And the domain that I have selected is the mobile app development. And the app name is the Breath Yoga app. So what is Breath Yoga and why Breath Yoga? So in recent times, we have seen that COVID and other diseases and their infections has caused a great calamity for the masses. Still there has been an attempt to create vaccines and boosters, but the problem has not yet changed. People are being affected by the current circumstances. Also, on the other hand, we know that in India we have several indigenous systems to revert infections, such as which has no side effects. Yoga and pranayama is one of them. So the pranayama, or the art of breathing, which is an ancient breath technique that originates from yogic practices in India. It has several benefits like decreases stress, improves sleep quality, increases mindfulness, reduces high blood pressure, and so on. So all the problems cannot be selected, and due to time constraints, I have selected 5 mind and 5 body problem statements which can be cured by pranayama. So the outline of my application. So the first page has the mind and body buttons. Each part has 5 problem statements each. Whenever the user opens any one of the problem, it has the name of the breath which cures it. It has basic instructions for that, extra benefits of that breath, and an animation video. Now, the animation video allows the user to practice breathing exercises along with the app. And in this prototype, since I had only 24 hours, I have used one problem statement of cooling the mind, and I've created the APK file, which has been shared to the organizers. Here is a demo video how the app is working on an Android phone. So here is the app, Breath Yoga app. Now the loading screen. Now here is the landing page. We have two buttons, the mind rejuvenation and the body revitalization. We go to the mind part, the cooling the mind. We have instructions, animated video part, which is blank right now, and the benefits part. Also, we can see a small home page button at the bottom, which can directly bring you to the landing page again. So now this is an example of the animation video, how the user can practice breathing exercises along with the app. So it says around 1. So inhale for 5 seconds, then hold the breath for 5 seconds again. Exhale for 5 seconds. Now this the round 1 has been completed. In similar way, round 2 and round 3, this has been recommended according to the books that I have referred. Now, what some of the observations that I found, that this app is right now only working for the Android devices. I'm still thinking how I can bring this to iOS devices also. Further, again, it works only on the latest phones, at least after 2017, which has the version 4.5.10. It can work. Otherwise, it is not working. The animation video, the biggest problem is that animation video is not working inside the APK file on the Android phone itself. So I'm trying to figure out how I can embed a video in an APK file. Right now, the animation video has been kept separate. So in conclusion, that this project is a small attempt to help people fight against the infections and diseases. So in today's world, the immunity system is most important. And our indigenous systems of Vedas, yoga and pranayama are very useful in the sense they provide immunity and there is no such side effects. So I've chosen pranayama or the art of breathing for this. It does not require rigorous exercising steps. They are simple but are very effective in curing several diseases. We know that most of the people own a smartphone and they can operate a simple app. So why not use it to protect yourself first? So I've always wanted to serve the community in any way possible. So this is just a small beginning. Healthy body and a strong mind is always needed to achieve anything. And anything by means, it means paradoxical. Practicing breathing exercises along with the app will help the users tremendously. This project is very practical and I hope to complete and deploy the first version in about 3 months. Thank you so much.
Hi Puneet. It was a good presentation. I have two questions. Number one, are you planning to roll this out as a startup, or are you planning to roll this out as a side project?
As a side project.
Okay, fine. And okay, fine. Okay, I had a couple of other set of questions in the startup if you would have answered startup, but yeah, makes sense. And how are you planning to grow
Just
this application?
just a point, because I'm not taking this as a startup because I don't want to make money out of it. I want to help people, and so it helps. Just that is my main concern.
Yeah, that's why I asked it, because if
Yes,
you
yes.
go to see your concept is pretty good, no doubt, but you didn't have any kind of what you say provision to kind of hook users. So just wanted to clear nothing I mean, I wouldn't put it in the form of evaluation and all, but yeah, just wanted out of curiosity. The other question is, you mentioned that there are a lot of a lot of what do you say, all these
Indigenous
practices
systems.
which
Yes,
help
yes,
us, right?
yes.
So how do you plan to incorporate more practices? Because number one, breathing, you implemented it pretty well. I mean, I loved it. But there are many more
Yes,
apart
yes.
from.
So,
how do
according to what I have thought for the future, right now the first deployment will only consist of the pranayama part. Then I'm
okay,
further I want to go to the yogic practices, simple yoga exercises along with some animation, how anybody can watch that video and practice the same. Then further, this could be my second version. Further, meditation practices by Swami Satyananda Saraswati is very much helpful for concentration and other things also. So in this way, I want to move forward. But right now, I am concentrating on pranayama and try to bring this out as soon as possible.
got it. Very clear about that. That's good. Okay. One more question that I have. See, there are a lot of apps if you go to see on Play Store, and even there are websites that do the same thing. What is
Yes,
the
yes,
USP of
yes,
your
sure.
solution?
I was expecting this question, so I referred to many apps. Particularly, I'm saying about the apps. When you download any app, such breathing app, you see the exercise part is there, but there is no logic. The instructions part from the Vedic books and taking reference, and which shows that yes, if you do these things, there is an output for that. So I've taken references from Patanjali Yoga Sutras, which are meant as the basic book for any pranayama and yogic practice. So they are authentic, and I have provided those instructions in the app itself that any user can read it and find it useful.
Okay, one last question from my end. It's a
Sure.
follow-up to this question. That is, you mentioned you referred to a book or to a set of instructions, right? Even the
Yes.
existing apps can do it. Okay, if they aren't doing. So rather than building an app, why can't you just give them a feedback and get it done? I mean, that's
Uh,
the most easiest.
Maybe along with the feedback that I said, that I want to later bring other things also, like the yogic practice. Now again, yoga is there in other apps also, but how now next part, the Swami Satyanand Saraswati meditation, guided meditation. So these things are not. So once I build my own app, so I will be able to add these things subsequently.
Makes sense. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay, Puneet,
Yes.
really nice idea. First of all, I really like your approach, first of all, because you're taking it directly from the roots, the Vedic books or whatever it is. I like the fact that you're taking it from there and also providing a solid reason and result of what the actual activity is, which is something that is missing, in some sense, missing in the market today. One small thing that I'd like to add is, why don't you, like Rishikesh mentioned already, since you're doing this as a side project, why don't you partner with existing apps, which, like, for
Uh,
example, provide
sir,
exercise?
to be very frank, I had tried to same pitch this idea to someone 3 months back, and later I found out that he told me that why not make it a sign in, then the person has to pay something, then there should be a yearly subscription, and I found that yes, again the same thing is going into the money market, which I never want about
Mhm.
this.
Yeah. So since if it was a startup, I think that would have been a nice model.
Yes, yes,
But since you are explicitly mentioning that this is a side project,
yes.
maybe you can explore the possibility of that. Now there are some shortcomings for that, and I'm only telling this to you because you are actually hoping to deploy this someday. That is that the app or the service that you are partnering with may or may not reflect with the same value system that you do, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
that is something you'll have to consider. I'm just giving you a heads up.
Yes.
One more thing is, I like in general, I mentioned about your approach, and I'd like to just mention two specific things here. One is that I already mentioned that one, you're referring to the books directly. Second is, I like the fact that you mentioned the reason behind doing these exercises is to prevent diseases and infection rather than I want you to do this exercise to be healthy. Turns
No, no,
out
no.
that
Yes.
telling people that if you do this, you're not going to fall sick is much more effective than telling if you do this, you're going to stay healthy. So
Yes, sir,
I
yes, sir.
really like that aspect of your presentation.
Thank you.
And I think, yeah, that is all. I just wanted to just emphasize on those 2 points. Yeah, that is all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Puneet?
sir. You are audible. Yes, sir.
Yes, Satya.
Yeah, Puneet. It was a nice presentation. I also liked your idea and your approach. So my first question is, do you yourself practice yoga?
Yes, sir. Every day.
Nice, yeah. Even I practice yoga. So we have this common thing. So I want to give you, first of all, I want to ask you what problem you faced while uploading the video in your APK file. I think you.
Sir, I have means while I was trying to build. So first of all, I tried some other methods like I should upload it to YouTube. Like I made a private inside the private channel itself. So I will take the video from there itself. Then I tried some JavaScript small on component event codes. That also was not happening. So I'm not able to figure out. It was a very time was also very less. So I tried only two things, and after that I said no problem. I'll upload the animation like that only. But my idea is to bring that animation video there itself, the blank page which I had shown in the demo.
Okay, got it. You know, one thing that I would like to say that you convert this regular yoga, you try to convert this regular yoga practice into some sort of gaming animation and thing. You can further convert it into some small weight a media file like GIF or even a picture based, and that if that could serve the purpose, because sometimes video are quite heavy and you might struggle while building your app. Just for a
Thank you so much,
suggestion.
sir. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
sir. I will
So,
try
and
this.
that I would like to just this is again a suggestion to you.
Sure. Thank you so
See,
much, sir.
yeah, so one more suggestion to you. So see what happens is ज्ञान देने के लिए ना दुनिया में बहुत लोग मिल जाएंगे, एंड सेकेंडली देयर आर मेनी एप्स इन द ऐप स्टोर जो कि योगा के प्राणायाम और ये सब बताते हैं. डू यू अंडरस्टैंड हिंदी?
Yes, sir. I understand. Yes, sir.
Okay, so the thing is ज्ञान देने के लिए ना सब लोग हैं. Another thing that you can add it to your app is some sort of self assessment or something, so that you know a person can monitor their progress and further benefit from your app. Otherwise ये ऐप भी एक वही ज्ञान देने वाला ऐप बन जाएगा जिससे लोगों को बेनिफिट होगा, नो डाउट, बट हमको ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोगों तक बेनिफिट पहुंचाना है. और ये
Yes, sir.
योग से एक्चुअली क्या फर्क पड़ता है ना, जब तक ये लोगों को नहीं पता लगेगा ना तब तक बड़ा बदलाव नहीं आएगा.
Okay,
वो
sir. Sure.
एक्चुअली लोगों को क्या अपना प्रोग्रेस वो किसी तरीके से ट्रैक कर पाए, लाइक सम सॉर्ट ऑफ सेल्फ असेसमेंट. लाइक इनिशियली व्हेन दे इंस्टॉल्ड द ऐप दे वर एबल टू hold their breath only for 10 seconds, but after 1 month practicing on your app now they are capable of holding it for another 20 seconds. So this is some sort of improvement, and they can stick to your app for a long time. So this was another suggestion to you,
Thank you so
and
much,
all
sir.
the best. You have a great idea. Yeah, and thank you
Thank you so
for
much.
your response.
Yeah. Now moving on to the next presentation. So yeah, thanks Puneet for your presentation. And next up we have Parth Mamtora. Parth, are you there?
Yes, I'm audible.
Yeah. Yeah, you are audible. Please start sharing your screen.
Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, your screen is visible. Please go ahead.
Okay, so my project is related to data science domain, and what I'm trying to do is model stock prices with the Fourier series. Okay, so we all know that stock prices, they move randomly, and there's a famous hypothesis called random walk hypothesis, which has been proposed by great mathematicians that it's not possible to predict stock prices reliably. So although there is a theory like that, but people still they try to predict stock prices and make money from stock market. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to model the movement of stock prices as some kind of function, the function which will be modeled with Fourier series. Fourier series we all know is just a series which is sum of sines and cosines. So this is what I'm trying to do with my program. So like this is an illustration of Fourier series at work, like how square wave can be modeled with Fourier series, sawtooth wave. I've taken up these pictures from Wolfram Alpha website. So like the challenges which I faced in my modeling process was doing this integration. So if you have done Fourier series during your engineering or college days, you might know that it involves calculating an integral. But since we have stock prices here, we don't have any properly defined mathematical function. So we need to use numerical technique. And I have used trapezoidal rule for doing that. And I considered 10 cosine terms for calculating my function. So this is our technical part. So I tested my model on stock price of Reliance, last 1 year stock price of Reliance. So what I did was I took last 30 days price, used it to construct my mathematical function, and predicted the price of the next 5 days. So, so like on an average, I observed there was a 5% of relative error, and my prediction was lagging behind. So I think it needs more improvement, like hyper parameter tuning and stuff like that. So this graph it illustrates how it was. So the blue line is predicted price, and orange line is my actual price. So like to deploy this product in market, I think we need to create some kind of front end thing, like an app or software, and to keep the efficacy of algorithm intact, the algorithm shouldn't be publicly disclosed, because if people know that there's some kind of a technique which can be used to predict prices, then everyone starts doing it, and then the information becomes public, and then the algorithm no longer works. Efficient market hypothesis per se. So we should keep this like a trade secret, and we need a front end thing for this. Yeah, that's all. There's a code also that I've written. If you want me to.
Do you have a recorded output in case if it takes time? Hello, now am I audible?
You are audible, sir.
Yeah, so do you have a recorded output instead of maybe running it live?
Parth, can you answer the question, please?
Hello, Parth.
I think he got disconnected.
I
Parth,
think
you
he
are
got
on-
disconnected, I think so.
Yeah, possible. We should move on, I guess, and then later on.
Yeah, we should move on. I think so. We can think about him later on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, please, next participant, I think so. Our next participant is Jayesh Banchur. Jayesh, are you there?
Actually,
Yeah, it's Jivesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Jivesh. So,
Yeah, actually, I had a bit of a network fluctuation, so my teammate Manav Tiwari will be presenting it.
okay. So, Manav, please go ahead and start presenting your work.
Yeah, actually, I somehow got muted by someone. It says the host muted me, so that seems all right. So I should start, right? Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Please go ahead,
Okay,
Manav.
let's start. So first of all, I'll start my pitch with a question. How often do you shop online? And I believe maybe at least twice or thrice a month. And how often do you shop online for clothing, accessories, and other stuff? And we're living in this post-pandemic world. And I believe one of the biggest losses due to pandemic was to the fashion industry. And today's our topic is on fashion industry, and we have created this app. We call it Aptus, the new reality. It's based upon AR, machine learning, and image mapping. So let me proceed further. Aptus is the name derived from Latin, which means to fit, get connected, fasten, prepared, and adapt. The key features of this app will revolutionize the way you shop for clothes, apparels, shoes, and other style statements in India, because I have not seen any app doing something like this in Indian markets. Maybe the bigger brands like Louis Vuitton or Gucci, but not the small stores. Okay, so let's move forward. Here are a few key features of this app. Image searching. So ever wonder which dress was some random stranger wearing? So all you need to do is just pick up your phone, click a picture, and you'll get similar results using advanced AI and image searching technology of different products of which you click the picture, instead of just going and asking to the stranger at what dress you were wearing. And it's the app made for smartphones as well as desktops. Again, moving forward, we have the virtual twin. So this is one of the most important feature of this app is, see, you have the hassle of returning the product. Sometimes it doesn't fit, or it doesn't look as good as it used to look in the picture, or there are some other materials which we are not going to cover in this topic. So what I'm going to say is you can use your phone and scan yourself using AR. There are multiple measurement apps which will be linked with the app. Link with our applications to trace your measurements perfectly to the core, and then you can order, and also you can try on clothes using AR online, just like as easily you use the Snapchat filters. But the thing is, this will be exact copy of yourself using AR. Exact measurement, exact sizes. This is just like tailoring, getting a custom made cloth for you. Then we have the next feature, which is the celeb follow feature. So like, I've seen a lot of people copy celebrities. They are like, hey, Taylor was wearing something like this. Rihanna was wearing something like this. So we have a celeb follow feature in which we do a daily research, and we post the celeb accessories and clothes, and you can just dive right in, get the images, and get the thing done. Then we have the AI for recommendations. So looking at your past shopping trends, we provide the customized searches that what might suit you to your needs and your body type according to your comfort type. There are seasonal outfits, occasional outfits, as there are many festivals going on in India. So according to that, we can have occasional outfits and even the celeb follows outfit. Something just like this. Then we move forward. And then we have the AI image search, which I guess I have already introduced yourself. Then you can have custom built things. And recently, this is the one which I already told you about, the AI image search. Let's move forward. Voice search as well, because we also need to keep in mind the accessibility options. Maybe somebody who is physically challenged can use the app as well, just like walking and into a virtual assistant, or if you're just doing it for fun, that also works. But we made this keeping in the mind the uses of people who are physically challenged and cannot use normal searches. And here's a stat that US now has the least one smart speaker, and people are starting to use them for shopping. So basically, why not in India? And then we have the social profile feature. So if you create any custom outfit, you can share it with the world. And who knows that you become a fashion sensation overnight. People start liking what you wear. And that's one of the features you get. You can just connect with people all over the world, and you can just start posting of the pictures of the outfits you bought from our website or the app and get them custom built, share it with your friends. And you know what, when you make your custom twin, your virtual twin, you can use the apps and clothes to try and land the accessories and everything, and you can share it with your friends and let them know how you look in them. And then we have custom products already introduced as well. Something really, really famous these days are the custom Air Force Ones. And then I have one more feature, which is privacy. Privacy of the data is really important these days. And everything is end-to-end encrypted using secure servers so that you can shop safely. And we do not share recommendations and designs to anyone until you have the option to, if you want to share it in a public profile or a private profile. And we also have a store customer support, I guess. Customer support is really important because it's not what the product keeps customer bringing back, it's the customer services that brings back the customer every time. If you ever have an issue and you want to resolve it, you definitely go for the customer services, whether it's cause of payment issues or some return issues, doesn't matter. If the customer service is good, you're gonna buy again. That's the best way of customers retention. And you can even call them just to have a second opinion on how you look. And moving on, here are some of the project insights, which we were just doing due to time constraints. We were not able to fully try on multiple designs, but I guess I have figured out a few of them and I'd like to share it with you. Mind if I share my screen again? Okay, so yeah. So this is the outfit we have created since it was Independence Day. So this is the outfit we created for a female, but somehow it doesn't have an option for a female. So let's do it for a male. Happy Independence Day. And that's how, like, this was really short on time constraint, and that's why the fit might not that be good. But if we did have lots of time, we might have to, made it even better than it is right now. And I also sent you the link to this AR lens on, and it is also available on everybody's Snapchat. You can just have a look at it. The name is AR Aptus. And moving on, that's what all from my side. And these are the name of my team members: Jivesh, myself, and Ranbir. And I'm sorry Ranbir isn't here because he has to catch a train. That's all from my side.
Okay. Manav, really nice presentation. I really like how it is super concise and super short, but at the same time, it has just the right amount of information. So I've got two queries, if you can call it that. First one is, see, the thing is, the AR idea you told to us about the AR twin, right? I think that's what you called it, right? I'm not sure what.
Right. Yeah, I called it the virtual twin.
Yeah, right. So the virtual twin. So the thing is, in some form, it is already implemented in apps like Lenskart today.
Yes.
One of the problems with those apps, from my own personal experience, is that it's not exactly accurate. And I did some of my own research about this a few years ago when the feature was initially introduced to the market. The actual issue is, it's not that the models are bad, it's just that the phones are bad.
Yeah, the device.
So, unless and until you have something like a proper phone with something like a laser or LiDAR sensor, or in this case, I'll take an iPhone, for example, because it has a proper sensor. In that case, it will be quite accurate, and you can actually see that directly reflected even with something like Snapchat filters, right?
Yes, exactly.
There is a massive difference between how the filters are,
ran on Android versus the
Android
iOS. Yeah.
So my question is, how are you going to combat something like that? That's the first question. So do you have any comments?
So, like, considering the consumer base in India, I believe there are lots of iPhone user in India. Nearly 1 million iPhone users every year are increasing. And moreover, the target base of the customers are somebody who has already shopped a lot. And I believe that person might already have a phone quite advanced. But sooner or later, we'll try to optimize it for the lower models as well. I think that answers your
Okay,
query.
fair enough. So that was my first question. And I've got one more question. I'm going to keep this short. So in the social media aspect of your app, you mentioned that you'll only be allowing only existing products.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or you can just create custom products, like change the color of the t-shirt, but that has to go through us. We have our other tie-ups.
Do you have a specific reason why you're doing something like this? Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't think there exists a specific fashion type of social media yet, and I think you have a huge market there.
Yeah.
Why are you sort of limiting it to only your products?
I guess because not my products as well. If you have like other brand products and you're happy to share it with other people, but it has to be on your virtual twin, not anybody else. Yeah.
So basically what you mean is, so the product should exist in your database, basically.
Yes, definitely. That's
right. So why exactly, like, why not, even allow custom clothing? Like, say, for example, you mentioned about custom Air Force Jordans, right?
Yes. Yes.
Let's say someone modified their own. So at that point, it is a custom produce, right? So does that mean it's not allowed in your platform?
No, it is allowed, but the person who is joining and selling his product has to pay us some commission. That's it. That's how it works.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I think that's about it from my side.
Yeah.
I also had the same question what Ashwin asked. So thank you, Ashwin. You answered, because of Ashwin I got the answers. Just one thing that I wanted to tell is there was this social media concept. I don't remember which brand introduced it, but either it is Mintra or Ajio. I don't remember exactly, but there was this social media, but it failed. Maybe you can take some thoughts on why they failed, and then you can improve, because as Ashwin said, it's a very I mean, it's not explored that much, that market.
It's
And
like the
even
dark side of the internet as so far in India.
I mean, it has failed, but there could be something where they are wrong, and then you can improve upon it and take on the market. Another thing that you said, that you want to what do you say? You want to do this following kind of thing, right? To the celebs.
Yeah.
That was also introduced by one of these apps, but I don't know whether it is still available or not. Someone in the chat also can let me know if it is still available. But yeah, these features were there. So just wanted to tell you about it. One more thing is, I felt like there is a lot of things that is being crammed in one platform. Although, as Ashwin said, you have a great scope at building a social media just around fashion.
Yeah.
Okay. So otherwise, the app is the implementation is superb. I hope you'll get it after this competition also, and not just for this competition.
Definitely, that would be great if I somehow managed to get it up there.
It should be, because you have a team also, and like you can just go and start off and just do a pilot, and according to that, you can decide whether to go ahead or not.
Definitely, that's a great idea. Thank you.
Yeah. Otherwise, your idea is good, well presented. Just the right amount of information that is needed, and not much, not less. Good luck for your.
Thank you.
Hi, Manav.
Hello.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you for your presentation. I really like your idea. So, one interesting thing that I observed, like whenever you go to some online shopping to buy clothes or accessories, you find that those places are well lit, and you can find mirrors almost after every some foot. So what actually they are doing is they are allowing the customer to stay long in their stores, so that they buy more and they try more and more things.
Yes.
You exactly copied the same concept in the virtual world by this AR concept. Basically, you are allowing the users to stay more on your app or your platform, and giving them the opportunity or more options to select from. One of the brilliant ideas that I say. So another thing that I found, as also told by the Rishikesh, that there are so many things that are present on a one single platform.
Yeah.
From a user perspective,
Mhm.
I might not need tens of 10 features of this app. I might need only one or two features, but those features should work 100% well.
Well,
By what I mean is, in one of the slides, you were also showcasing that your product can, tell that which celeb has bought which accessory, or
no,
from
I mean, has
source.
already wore it somewhere. Like,
Yeah. So whenever people see this, they become interested to have similar kind of products in their wardrobe. Some
yes.
sort of, they like to copy their slave style. And I think you would also have observed this. I
Yes.
tell you a fact. I'm from Delhi, and Delhi is one of the major markets of the India.
Mhm.
Suppose today Akshay Kumar is wearing a particular kind of goggles.
Yeah.
Within a week, you can find duplicate copies of those goggles in the offline market.
Mhm.
Okay.
Totally.
And similarly, when someone visited your platform or your app, and those
Mhm.
people want to buy those kind of accessories, so are you allowing them, or are you also incorporating the
The like dummies, the duplicates.
yeah, some parties that can provide that? Because another thing that comes in this direction is that duplicacy. uh,
Yes.
at first, you want to serve the customer, but at the same point of time, you also have to make sure that they are getting the original product and not the duplicate product.
Yes, that's why I believe the tie-ups should like because the celebs always go for the OGs. So I believe the companies which they prefer should have. I'll try to reach them and have tie-ups with them as well, so that the customer always receive the OGs products and a certificate of authenticity from the brand itself.
Nice idea. But I also want to give you a suggestion. Since you are building a tech product, you can utilize the power of AI and redirect the customer to the original vendors,
Oh
or
yeah,
onto their web page,
OG
using the
website. Yeah.
yeah. So this can, I think that this can help in some extent. And also you can utilize one of the powerful feature of AI by connecting the right customer to the original vendor. So I think
Definitely.
this can help you out.
Thank you so
Uh,
much.
thank you for your presentation and for your response.
Thank you. Uh,
Yeah, thank you, Manav and JVH and the whole team for presenting this wonderful presentation. And now we shall move forward to the last presentee. I may ask Lakshmi Shruti K to present her model. Lakshmi, are you there?
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, I'll present my screen.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah, Mahima, you are audible.
So, good evening, everybody, and happy Independence Day. So, me and Lakshmi Shruti are a team. We are from the same college, and both of us are in diploma level. So, and today we're going to show you about a new app idea.
Yeah, please go ahead and start sharing your screen.
Is my screen visible?
Yeah, your screen is visible. Please continue.
Okay, so I'm going to start the introduction. So our app is called Live It. It's an online community. It's based on the idea of living it and loving it. Okay, so this is basically, it focuses on the elderly age group people, senior citizens and retired people. So why Live It is basically that we find a lot of our grandparents and older neighbors finding it really difficult to pass time. They seek a lot of opportunities to just keep them occupied and find new things to do in their life. So this community focuses on that. So imagine our lives how it was during the lockdown. Now we at least had social media and movies and series and Netflix partying and everything to keep up with it. Now imagine the same life without any of the social media and not constant communication with their friends, and how bad it will be. So that is their day-to-day lifestyle, and so we are focusing on changing it. Okay, so this idea, it's like a online community where you can connect with your friends online via contacts, and it's a personalized comfort zone. It's not with random people online. Okay, so this actually a lot of them find it really depressing and lonely. So this platform helps them to cope up with that. And yeah, the next slide. yeah, Lakshmi Shruti will continue with the features.
Yeah, you may ask this, how is this useful? Okay, when older or elderly people, when they go to online platforms to play games, there are the audience is mostly younger generations. So they might not be able to compete with them. They often get bullied, and there are lots of cases like that. So to make a platform just for the age group of senior citizens, we have made this app. Okay, so as for the features of this app, since the people are might be new to technology or and maybe newbies for technology, we have made it with a lot of pictures with help boxes like this. We have step-by-step help, and we have video help. We have it in. We have planned to make it like uh, to make it supportable in all languages, Indian official languages. And we have the main idea of this app is to create communities with their friends or peers. During lockdown, or if a person is unable to move out of their house, they won't be able to communicate with their friends. So that might make them lonely and depressing. So this app will help them form communities with people whom they already know, their contacts. With their contacts, they can form communities, and they can do a lot of activities with that. So in this communities feature will help them form communities with people they know, and then they can extend these communities to the mutual friends. And then personal messaging is also available. A person can be part of one or more communities, and in each community there is gaming feature, there is the voice call, video call, and movie, and also music streaming is available. So they can watch movies together, they can host watch parties, they can play games, and a lot of other things. Okay, there is this learning feature. This learning feature will help them like learn new things at this age. They can these courses can either be free or at minimal cost, and then these courses can also be hosted themselves. Like the app users can also host courses to share their knowledge with their fellow community mates. And we can also train machine learning models. We have planned to train machine learning models so that these course suggestions are tailored to their needs. Yeah, Mahima will carry on.
Okay, so coming to the games point of view, we actually planned two different types, that is single player and multiplayer. So when it's a multiplayer, we are inbuilding this feature inside community, so a group of people can play it at the same time. We can keep games like simple rummy or carom and games like that. And in single player mode, we can have simple games that elderly people usually are obsessed with, like Candy Crush, Shoot the Bubble, and games like that. In that, we maintain a leaderboard in where you can compare the scores with people in the same community that you're in. So this is one feature. And the next is about news and articles. So a lot of elderly age group people are obsessed with reading news and day-to-day updates. They're obsessed with current affairs and everything. So we provide a feature where we get personalized blogs and articles for them. They will also be able to share it with their peers and people in the community. And then, the reward points. So based on how much the person is active in this app, or based on the scores in the games, we actually give them small reward points with which they can get, simple small gifts, or they can also use it as coupons to redeem when they purchase something online. So yeah, Lakshmi Shruti will continue.
Okay, so you may ask us, how is this new? This problem is not taken that seriously, and it is often neglected. Elderly people's healthcare is being taken care of government and NGO organizations, but their need for their mental well-being and their need for entertainment is often disregarded. So there aren't much apps or platforms where they can actually form communities like this. There are, but not like a community where they can connect with their immediate friends and then with mutual other people. So this idea is like technologically combining features from various other apps, and then combining it together so that we solve this problem, which is a not so taken a problem. So the technologies we plan to use were Java for the app development and MySQL for database for each personalized user. And then we plan to like have video streaming, the move watch parties, which I already introduced you to, and music streaming like Discord and Rave, where music streaming is done from YouTube, where we take the music from YouTube and stream it here. And we have planned for for login, we can use Google login, and we have also planned to make encryptions for data security. Over to Mahima.
Okay, so concluding our presentation, this is supposed to be a really user-friendly and understandable application for the older people, and also providing them a platform to learn new things on a daily basis and also to take part in interesting activities together. So our motto is to basically keep them engaged and be occupied and not feel lonely. Yeah. We believe this is the very thing that they need. Thank you. Yeah, the prototype, Lakshmi Shruti will just show the slides of the prototype.
Yeah. So this is our working prototype. In 24 hours, we were able to build this prototype only. Like if I log in, I can see these, these pages where there are a lot of features like community feature, personal chats and games, learning and reward points, news, etc. So if we go into communities, there'll be community list of communities they're part of, and if we go into this, they can text, they can watch movies, etc. This is our working prototype. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, a nice presentation, Lakshmi and Mahima. Judges, do you have any queries and words to them?
Hi, Mahima and Lakshmi. Good presentation. Honestly speaking, I don't have any questions right now. But yeah, I mean, great app. I mean, I love the concept that you guys took, that is elderly people and caregiving and all those things. Just one question. You're planning to do some monetization under this, or is it just without any monetization? I mean, just an app.
No, we actually thought of it as a side business right now, because we don't focus on getting back, returns from it. This is just an idea to keep them occupied. So maybe if it fares well in future, we might make it into a proper project.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Mahima and Lakshmi, for your presentation. It was really a nice idea. Just I wanted to know how you thought to come up with something like this.
We have seen our grandparents who are at home, who are sick and who are unable to go out, but they really want to like connect with their friends. So that was the thing which made us inspired to create this idea.
Interesting. You know, I do not belong to the age group of your grandparents, of course, but I can relate to it very much. I'll tell you how. It's been more than 1.5 years. I'm from the first batch of this ITMBS program, and along till today, I've made many friends in this online ecosystem. And you know, one thing that I kept missing was how can I connect with them in a more better way. We all know we have a WhatsApp group, we are connected on social media, but you know, I was looking for some sort of platform like this where you know I can host a movie and invite my friends, and they can also, I think you are doing similar kind of thing in one of the web in one of the domains of your app, right? Like hosting a movie or some kind of watch party. So you know, I really wanted to. I was looking for something like this, and at the same time, this kind of platform can provide a better connect to the persons who are uh, otherwise connected in a virtual environment, because we all know that we ourselves are part of this degree program, and the reality is that we might have made friends who are far off from our places, with whom we can't meet daily, but
Yeah.
still we want to share some sort of activities with them. So I really liked your idea. And yeah, one thing that I wanted to know is how you are going to maintain the decency or safe environment for the individuals who are part of the community, because there
Okay, so
can be.
first of all, based on what you said, we thought about this. So that's why we're keeping it like WhatsApp. Like we just connect with people with whose contacts we have, or it's mutual friends. So basically, your friends will have their contacts. So it's not some random person online or someone texting you, or that kind of thing that happens in Instagram or Facebook. So that is one of the positive things. Another thing is we are also trying to get in encryption, so the details are safe.
Okay, and one thing more that I'd like to tell you that there is some sort of, not same, but there is some sort of similar kind of a startup who is doing this activity. That startup also came in the Shark Tank India season, and they raised money from this Ashni Grover, where Ashni Grover specially bought the 10% for share of the girl. So they were also doing College Connect kind of a thing. So that you can study that their product and know better about them, how you can stand out. And yeah, all the best to
Yeah,
you
sure,
guys. I
sir.
really like your
Sure.
idea.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Lakshmi, and I think the other one closed her
Hey.
camera. I can't see your name. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
Mahima.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, really nice presentation. It's very welcoming. The presentation is very readable and welcoming. Just a few just questions from my side. First one was, how are you? I think Satyam already asked that. So how are you guys going to prevent spam and maintain a sort of decorum in the platform? One thing you guys could consider is maybe use some sort of verification system through, maybe some sort of ID or something like that. That way, you are able to curb a lot of the spam. Yeah, and one more thing, I think, I don't know, I think Rishikesh mentioned this, and I think even Satyam mentioned this. Why don't you guys, instead of just focusing on the old age category, I think this app is great. I think the old age category should be a separate app. But why don't you guys discuss more upon this, refine this idea, and pitch this to like the people of IITM BS program? Because but
Yeah.
first of all, do you guys know any competitors of any of this sort? Are you guys aware?
No, actually, we Googled it up. Like, if there is any similar idea, we found a lot of thing in other countries, but in India, I don't think it's an established application yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but actually, to add upon Mahima's point, I actually saw one platform where there are communities, but those communities are like meeting up or teaming up with random strangers. It's like a Facebook kind of thing. So this is different from that. That's what I want to mention.
Got it. So the communication aspect is a little bit more limited in this to prevent spams, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Plus, I don't think old people really are, keen about meeting people online and getting to know them. It's more about
exactly. That is
interacting
the
with your
problem.
friends
I
and
agree.
yeah.
Yeah, with the old age app, I think you guys have pretty much covered most of the points, and I really like that about your presentation. Coming back to the IITM BS app thing that I was mentioning, and I'm very serious about this, by the way. You guys should refine this idea and like at least pitch it to the people of IITM, because I think this would actually create a lot of difference in general, with the community. Because right now, even with the friends group I am having, from my own personal experience, we usually we talk on Discord or Google Meet, and then if it's an official kind of thing, we go to Google Meet. And then if it's more of a casual thing, we go to Discord again. If it is messaging, we use G Spaces, WhatsApp. It's a lot of platforms, right? It's very confusing. So if you guys can come up with something of a more unified platform, and I think even IITM would really appreciate something like that. And since you guys told that you are not aware of any competitors in this space, there are actually competitors. One of them is called Scenes by Avalon. It is by an Indian startup itself. You guys can write it down if you want, and their idea is very similar to hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's called as Scenes by Avalon. Okay, just search it up. It's really nice. Their whole idea is very similar to you guys' idea. They have a like a game system where it's a point-based system for doing stuff in the platform and everything. So yeah, I think that sort of concludes my pointers for you guys. Very nice presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, rest of the judges, Rishikesh, you want to add anything?
Ritik.
No.
Ritik.
Yeah, then.
Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah,
then.
Parth is there to conclude his meeting, conclude his presentation.
Yeah, if Mahima and Lakshmi, are you finished with the presentation? It was a great presentation from your end, and the idea was very appreciated. Moving on to Parth, Parth was left with his conclusive part and some questions from the judges. Parth, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Yeah.
So sorry for that disconnect. I'll
Do
just
you want to
make
tell us
it really
something?
quick.
Yeah, your idea was modeling stock prices by Fourier series. And Rishikesh, you were having some questions for Parth. Are you there, Rishikesh?
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I had a couple of questions, but he was because that's the part where we missed him. So I just said if
Yes.
he had a demo or a screenshot or something of that sort of, it would be great because I mean, it would take time. That is why.
The part,
Yeah.
the question that Rishikesh raised previously was if you have any screenshot or some implementation of this code in a video format, please share, try to show that in the presentation because it will take time for the code to implement now.
The code will take like 1 or 2 seconds to run. I'm running it on a short file only.
Then go ahead.
Yeah. So this is the code that I've written. I'm taking stock prices of last 1 year for Reliance. This is that file df, and I run it. So this values, these are percentage differences between actual and predicted prices. So like 5% difference, 6% difference for all the like different 1 month time periods that I'm taking. And this is like the plot between the actual and predicted prices. The blue is predicted price and orange one is actual price. So like over that 5 days period in which I'm predicting, like I'm taking data of 30 days and trying to predict it for the next 31st, 32nd, 33rd and till 35th day. So that was my idea. So like there's some error obviously. Yeah, so this is about that implementation of code.
Yeah, so I have a couple of questions. As you said that stock market prices, to some extent, it is not predictable, right?
Yes.
More of random word that you use. But I wouldn't say it is random because it is market linked. Tell me one thing, how, because you are looking at patterns if you go to see, right?
Yes.
In Fourier. So if you are looking at patterns, what about the trends that happen in the market and how you're incorporating it here? Because ultimately it is linked to that.
So like if you think about it, the stock price is influenced by a lot of trends like macroeconomic trends about GDP, then news about the company, then some review, some kind of news in the industry, etc., etc. And if some big player has bought that stock, like Rakesh Jhunjhunwala buys that stock, then that can also pump that stock price up and down. So like all in all, it's a random walk because so many players are playing. That's why. But yeah, you are right. There are some big factors which would be influencing it, but it's not possible to develop some kind of predictive model which incorporates, for example, GDP and uh, bulk deals of big investor, etc., etc. So like for the short-term trading, I've tried to model it using Fourier series. That's all.
Okay.
This function would keep changing every time, so we need to update it.
Okay, got it. That's it from my end. Wish you luck.
Yeah. Hi, Parth. Ashwin here.
Hi, hi.
So I have a few sort of questions about your entire project. One is, do you plan on like releasing this at some point, or is this something you've come up with for this hackathon, or is it something like you've had in mind for a while?
I came up with this idea for this hackathon only. So I was studying Fourier series last few days. So I was trying to like think about way of programming it and all. So this is just for this hackathon, and I think like to commercialize it, it would take a lot of effort, to build that whole front end thing, and so that the user friendliness is ensured. This is not there in my case right now.
Right. Okay, so actually I was going to mention about that itself, because see, this is basically just one equation, right?
Yes.
I'm not just talking about the front end. Generally speaking, when you implement apps like this that claim to give you some sort of accuracy in predicting stock prices, there is a lot of logic involved behind, and that is the reason why people first of all they keep it secret, and second of all it's hard to decipher because of this so many number of algorithms that are involved. It's not, you can't directly decipher it, right?
True. Yeah.
So it's just something I wanted to mention. Yeah, I think that's all. Nice presentation. I really like the fact that you took in actual mathematical equations and explained it, and I've seen your documentation as well, the report as well. You've actually explained how Fourier works, at least in like a very fundamental sense, and I really like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Parth, for your presentation. I really like the way you tried to bring, book concepts into a real world, solving the real world like problem. But yeah, I had some kind of thoughts as Rishikesh told that stock prices are not totally random. Uh, there are various reasons that are responsible for fluctuation of a stock price, and this kind of thing happen in the market. But of course, there still is a pattern that results in the price fluctuation, and you try to identify that. I really appreciate your efforts. And yeah, this is all I wanted to say to you. I think is this is the last presentation, or we have some more teams?
No, this was the last presentation. And do you have any words with him?
So before closing, Ritik, I wanted to say something. Let me know when can I say.
Yeah, please go ahead with him.
Okay, thank you, Ritik. So thank you so much, everyone, for your efforts and taking out time and participate in this hackathon. You guys had a small amount of time to prepare your pitches and prototypes, but still you tried your best, and whatever we are seeing today is a result of some, I think, 1.5 day time that was given to you, and it was really great. All the ideas were really great, and I really wish you all the best. I have a suggestion to all of you. Most of your problems were, rather I'll say, everyone was trying to solve a major problem that exists in the society, be it predicting the rates in the stock prices, or that AR, using AR in the fashion industry, and creating an online community. Sorry if I missed some taking name of some of the projects, but the main idea of all of you was to solve a problem that exists in the community. So my suggestion is, as you all know, that we are part of the ITMBS program, and we have a very strong community that which we are part of. There are, I think, more than 7,000 people who are connected to the degree program. So this is one of the best places where you can run your prototypes, test it, and do the trials, field trials, and alpha testing, beta testing, and before coming up with the final product. Our idea is to foster the culture of innovation and entrepreneurship in our degree program. So, this spirit should not get over with this hackathon. What I mean is, this hackathon is one of the ways by which you all got a platform to, explore your ideas or take your ideas ahead. But this community can provide you much more than this hackathon can provide you. Believe me, the real essence of the community exists when more and more people will come up with some great ideas or great solution that is capable of solving some great problem. So you have a ground to play, I'll say. Better prepare with your tools and start playing in this ground of ITMBS. And I'll be really appreciate, and I'll myself promote all the projects who take this step ahead in order to take their ideas for the testing in our community, BS community. I'll be more than happy to promote those ideas. And also, I strongly urge you all to find people who are like-minded to you, who have this essence to solve the problem just like you, and try to connect with them. And maybe someday we'll be having problems, or more number of problem solvers and more number of job providers than job seekers in this degree program. So this I all wanted to say. Thank you so much everyone for your participation. Thank you, Ritik and the team. This team has worked really hard in these days to make this hackathon a success. And I really wish you all the best for all your life endeavors. Thank you, this Robinhood Community Club and Round Robin Hackathon, for inviting me. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, namaskar.
Yeah. So it concludes the all the presentations from the participants and the finalists. And I may ask all the finalists to just come open your cameras and try to come up for a group for a session photo for our final. So Ashwin, will you take the photo?
Yeah, I can take the photo.
Yeah, you should. So everyone, please open your camera. Yeah, yeah, please, because it is an honor for us to be a part of this hackathon till the end, and your projects were really encouraging, and you should be proud of your work, basically, which you did in just one day of a time. So think of it when you will do this type of a work on a daily basis and try to solve various problems and try to make projects and in the end. So for the results, we'll be declaring the results for the final finale round till tomorrow noon, and the results will only be some names on the paper or some names on the mail only itself. But the work you did was really encouraging, and our vision for the basically as a president of Robin Hood Club, myself, our vision was to enrich the IIT and BS community to come up with solutions, basically to become problem solvers, to come up and solve problems and be a part of it, come up with solutions and start making startups and become job providers rather than job seekers. So this is a big vision, and the events are only way for us to reach out to you, showing you the pathway and enriching you in this manner. So yeah, it's some advice and some words from my end, and thank you for everyone to participate in this, and wish you a good luck. And the results will be up by tomorrow. And if any judge has some commencing word, please some ending word. Rishikesh or Ashwin?
Yeah, just one. Ashwin, would you want to go ahead first?
Oh no, I was just concluding the thing. That's all.
Right.
Please go ahead.
So I wouldn't take much time of yours. One good I would like to mention is the organizer team, especially Dipendra, Ritik, Royal. They were up until midnight working for you guys, working for this hackathon to happen successfully. So I think we should first applaud the Robinhood community first, and then applaud everybody else. So kudos to you, to the team. Looking forward for the community to grow as well as prosper well. Thank you.
Yeah, everyone, please just open your cameras for just for one more photo because I wasn't, my camera wasn't on at that time. So if you may please. Thanks, everyone. It's an honor for be a part of this hackathon, and it's a great evening for it. And happy Independence Day. And work on your problems in future as well. And we'll bring some more hackathons, probably some offline hackathons as well, where you can present a bigger ideas and working projects with some more deadline possibly. And I hope you'll be a part of that as well. And I encourage every one of you because you are problem solvers and want to become part of a community. So please come join us in Robinhood Club, be a part of it, contribute in whatever manner you can, organize some events, work on the hackathons or some idea problem solving. We also want to brought up some clubs inside this, a startup club, a business club, or to be precise, a science club, something like that, a problem solving club where you can interact with the like-minded people. So yeah, this is what I want to say in the concluding lines. And let's conclude this meet and have a nice day.
Ritik, 1 second. I think Ashwin wants to speak. He turned off his mic in between.
Yeah, no, that's all. I think Rishikesh and Satyam concluded pretty well. Thank you for having us. It was honestly an honor and a pleasure to be able to look at all of you guys' projects. And again, big ups to the organizing team. I've seen how hard you guys have worked for this. Yeah, I think that's all. Hopefully this is not the last time we'll meet. Hopefully we'll meet again. Yeah, that's all. Thank you all.
Yeah, surely. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. Have a nice day ahead.
Have a nice day.
Thank you, everyone.
Wish you all luck and have a nice day.
Thank you, guys.